Hey guys, my purpose is not to bash or insult anyone's feelings, beliefs, or lifestyle. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to address the issues we might all be facing at any given time and hopefully experience growth with all. While having fun doing so, I hope to encourage my listeners to be more creative, process life better, and most importantly, and productively, use your voice. Outspoken. What's up, y'all? It's Tanya on the microphone, and you're listening to Outspoken, the podcast. Now, before we get started, I wanted to send a shout out to our sponsors over at Rap Inc. Recommend to check out their website. They have some really nice, innovative products, really cool tech gear, and they also have promotional materials, business cards, banners. They do that graphic design too. So check them out at www.rap-inc.com. Now, with that being said, let's get started.
Thank you so much, ladies, for coming today. And you are now tuning into Outspoken, and we have three wonderful ladies from all walks of life. We're supposed to have four, but my fourth lady is not able to make it right now. So next time she will be on. Just want to let you guys know I'm Tiny. We have Tina, and we also have Ebony.
Light skin Ebony.
And we're all here today we're gathered here today. No, we're here today to talk about our first topic, our first episode, guys.
Hey.
Bring the, bring your glasses up. Cheers. Cheers. Tina's in Texas. We here in Georgia, and we about to get outspoken up on it. It's called Why is the Grass Greener?
Is it why the grass greener, or is it why people think the grass is green?
Why do people think that the grass is greener on the other side?
Oh, okay.
Basically, we're going to discuss today the differences between perception and reality. And we're going to start it off like this. Things that's going on in the news today, right? One of the things, Kanye West, he's going for presidency, right? A lot of
reality.
That's not reality?
No.
Oh, damn. All right. So what you
No,
think is reality?
that's fake.
No, reality.
That's fake news.
Right now.
That's fake news?
Right.
Okay.
Amen to that, Kina. I feel you. I definitely feel you. Yeah, that's not reality.
I had an argument today about what Breonna Taylor's was wrong.
I think that was
Breonna
bullshit.
Taylor.
I got very upset.
I think absolutely. I personally from New York, and I think New York straight let me down. I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. How do you allow a man to go ahead and get away with? First of all, you went into the wrong house and you shot up and killed somebody. Anything. But the system is so corrupt. It's so fucked up. You want to go ahead and charge him for putting the neighbor's life in danger. I can understand that point because their life was endangered at that point, but also what happened to the person that lost their life behind the mistake and the wrong that she did personally. So I am from New York, and I'm gonna be honest. Off of that subject, I say fuck New York because they disappointed me. Got a family right now that's distraught behind the loss, and all this that you trying to make up stories the way they normally do. I'm not for it. Somebody lost their life. That's somebody's daughter, If she had kids, I'm not sure, but that could have been somebody's mother, someone's sister, someone's cousin, someone's aunt. And just because you plainly just focus on the neighbor, which again, I'm happy at least the neighbor got their justice, but the main focus is that somebody lost their life and that person right now is not getting their justice behind it. So I think it's just straight bullshit with that verdict. That's my opinion. That's what I stick to.
Well, that is my opinion as well. But it wasn't based on they went to the wrong place. I mean, they had the right place, just the wrong information is basically what had happened. They had already had the guy that they was looking for in custody if they would have did their work instead of going to someone's house that sleep and shooting. I felt like they should have gotten some form of murder, but that's not what happens. But we have to get out and vote. We have to get out and vote to change any type of laws, because far as I'm concerned, voting for the president, it doesn't matter. If you're not voting for mayor, Congress, Senate, then it's nothing else to talk about.
Right.
Because the president is just a puppet. That's all he is.
Exactly.
Trump running around here doing executive orders. He can't do nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even matter what he is. So I think as our community, we need to get out there and vote. And I'm going to be there voting. I started voting when I was 18, and I will continue to vote. Whether it count, don't count. I hear people say all the time, your vote don't count. I don't matter. I'm going to be in that polls, dropping my ballot and doing it and getting it. So, and my daughter is 18. I thought I was going to be able to share that moment with her to vote, but we couldn't get a driving license until January. So we can't get ID in the state of Texas because of the coronavirus. So everything is backlogged. So we have to wait till it's her opportunity and 4 more years to vote. So hopefully, or vote for mayors and senates and stuff like that in 2 years.
And it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I'm gonna tell you, your vote does count, and your vote is your voice.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing: on paper, it's your vote. Your voice also resonates throughout the land. So basically, everyone has the ability to voice their opinion. Everyone. And one thing I noticed that we have failed sight of is not being able to give that respect for someone else to voice their opinion. Whether if we agree with it or not, everyone should have the ability to voice their opinion without hurting anybody else.
And come together.
Come
together.
This is why I'm gonna chime in on the voting part of it, because I'm not an American citizen, but what would you say to the residents of the United States that are, in my case, are not American citizen, but they're old enough, they're old enough to vote, but they're not legal to vote because they're not considered.
A voice. You still have a voice.
What would you give them as an advice?
Okay,
yeah.
Well, my advice to them is just because you can't step in a poll and legally put your stuff in there, you still have a voice. You got social media. You have the community. You still can go out and protest. You can still go and express what you feel, your opinions, and continue on. It doesn't, just because you're not legal here doesn't mean that, you don't have the right to say or feel, or anything that's going on here at all. So, with someone like you, okay, if you can't go in the poll, that's perfectly fine. You got someone like Keena and myself that'll have your back on that. But you can also have our back on the back end and get on social media. Voice what you got to say. Post stuff, and back us up on other stuff that, that we do need help on.
The support
exactly.
is what we definitely need.
Exactly.
If you're in a situation like myself, because I have my own reasons why I am not an American citizen, but I am legal. I don't like saying it because it sounds like I'm saying illegal, but I am a resident alien. Okay. But folks that are in my predicament, I recommend get educated as much as possible, know your laws, so that way if you do have children, offspring that are American citizens, you're able to give back and also give back to your community as well. Your voice counts.
Absolutely.
Your voice counts, and it helps others to really know the facts. Whether I'm a this person's supporter or that person's supporter, know your facts. Know the truth and know what's happened before. Because right now we are a part of a history to come 20 years from now, So that's a quick brief here of what's going on in the news today. Of course, it's going into election time, but right now let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the nitty gritty, right? As far as the political side of things, let's get into another side of things, concepts of perception versus reality. Why do people feel that the grass is greener? Let's talk about maybe relationships or people trying to find jobs, people finding a trade in life or just trying to find themselves in life. They sometimes look at other people thinking, oh my gosh, I like that. I like how they're living. Oh my gosh, their house is is so nice and tidy, or that's a nice car. I want to know what they're doing. What am I not doing? You know, instead of looking at yourself, we're looking at others, comparing ourselves with others. Why do folks believe that the grass is greener on the other side?
All right, well, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna chime in on both subjects. I know you mentioned relationship, and then you mentioned how folks look at it like, oh, they got the house, they got the car, that's what I want, you know, this other stuff. So first, let me touch on the relationship side.
And relationship could be boyfriend, girlfriend, it could be brother, sister, it could be best friends, any type of relationship.
Well, my answer is actually gonna touch on all of that. My answer is this. It goes back to like the 80-20 rule. A lot of folks don't realize what they have at that moment. A lot of folks, you know, because it's been there, they got what they got, and maybe they're lacking something. And because the outside, which is the grass on the other side, something comes along and might go ahead and give you what you feel like you're lacking, what you have already. And because of that small percentage, which is that 20%, you feel like that 20% overpowers that 80 because you already had that 80, but because you've been searching and lacking that 20, when that 20 comes to you, is, oh my God. Now, in certain situations, to be honest with you, in certain situations, that 20 turns out to be shitty. You realize, guess what? I didn't need that, because what that 80% actually is enough for me, because that 20% comes along, it gives me that what I've been lacking, but it comes with too much more that I don't want to deal with. But in certain situations, it might work out.
Then what I call it, you jump out of frying pot and jump in jump out of boiling water and go in a fire.
Exactly.
You know?
So on the relationship side, I mean, unfortunately, when it comes to people thinking there's grass on the grass is green on the other side, that really comes down to communication in my book. If you communicate what you feel like you lack, what you feel like with your partner, it doesn't even have to be wife, boyfriend, be family members.
Yes.
You as my sister, or you as my brother, you as my cousin, you as my aunt, or something like that. And I feel like there's something from you that is needed for me to feel like it's completed. Closed mouths don't get fed.
But what if you can't communicate? What if you have a hard time communicating? What if you have a hard time communicating just off of how you were bred, how the environment?
So if you can't communicate verbally, there's action. There's certain things that you can pull that person out from, and you can, express other ways. That is what you expecting or what you're wanting from that person, to where that person might question you and turn around and say, hey, I noticed that lately we've been doing a lot of this. It's something new. I kind of like it. And it might make that person, because a lot of people feel uncomfortable on communicating. A lot of people don't know how to communicate, don't know how to verbally and put it out there verbally. So if you put them in a situation to express it in an action to where they question you, you might feel a little more comfortable to where, yeah, this is what I've been wanting, since we're here and you asked me, this is what I've been, kind of needing from your side or whatnot. Now, when it comes down to the flip side, where you saying people are looking like, oh, I like the house, I like the cars, I like this, I like that. It's very easy.
That's envy. That is envy. And when you looking at someone else's things or what they got going on in their life, I feel like that is envy. I feel like that is low self-esteem in a lot of areas of your life, because most people won't always want more than what they have, or think they need more than what they have.
It's human nature.
Yes. So when it comes to that, most of the time that's envy or low self-esteem and jealousy.
Right.
And sometimes in life,
big low self-esteem.
Yes.
Big.
So my thing is, sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, because you could be sitting over there with a 20 and that 80 sitting over there. I'm going with the 80 all day, every day, because if it don't make money, it don't make no sense to me. So sometimes you can be with somebody and it ain't worth a quarter and you need to take off running fast as you can run. So sometimes the grass is greener.
Right.
That just all depends on the person and the type of relationship. Because some family is toxic. Some family you don't need to be around.
Blood.
And they blood. Some family, you can be family on Thanksgiving. I will see holler at your Thanksgiving. But them other 363 days of the year,
God bless
I
you.
don't need you. No, thank you.
I'm just how I see it, and I look at it on a broader spectrum, and I'll try to look at it on a narrower spectrum. Not to try to like downplay anything at all, but I'm always looking at a broader spectrum because I'm like, just as you have someone who's nice, easygoing, communicative, and all that good stuff, you have the opposite of that person, right? So you have to look at a broader spectrum. Every toxic or every element of society, whether it's toxic, happy, evil, envy, go lucky, prosperous, they all a member of a family. They all are a seed that was planted before. You understand? So we're all coming from a different type of family. So I feel it has to start from age, from young. If you want to break that cycle, or you're not even part of that cycle, but you don't want that cycle to be a part of your generation coming forward, I think it's good for you to educate your offspring in a sense where, listen, not everybody's going to be the same, and you have to learn the basics in order to understand the whole population. You have to look at the sample and learn the whole population. So what I'm trying to say with that is, if you have someone who is envious of your own life, right, and you're not even knowing that, see how they react with other people. And if they have you see how they act with other people, they're showing you how they are with how they're going to be with you. That's
and believe them.
And believe them. Definitely.
But my thing is, too, you have to look at, some people don't even know that that's a generational curse when it comes to envy and jealousy and lusting after somebody else's life or things. Because a lot of times you can sit over here. I've had women that tell me, I have an amazing husband. He's wonderful. And I'm like, well, you come over here and deal with his ass. If you think his ass is so damn amazing and wonderful, you come over here and deal with it. I guarantee you'll take off running. So a lot of times people don't understand the backdrop of things. They think
the work.
Yeah, because I done been married for 20 years. This August made 20 years. I have been with him 23 years. And what they see now, 20 years later, is not what it was when we first got together.
Exactly.
Because when we first got together, I could have messed him up a lot of days. He could have messed me up a lot of days. So, but they see the end product and they think that, oh, I want that. Well, if you want that, put in the work.
And that's what I was gonna say. A lot of people, they see like the houses, they see the cars and like material wise, but they don't understand the work and the sweat and the time that people put in to achieve what they got. Just like your relationship. God bless to the 20 years. I just want to say that. Many more to you guys.
We just celebrated our anniversary too.
All right, and many more to come. But I too been married. I put the work in. It didn't work out. It is what it is. I'm a divorced person. Hey, I don't give up on love. I still believe it's in the cards for me until the right one comes along.
I ain't got coronavirus.
But again, just like you said, everybody looks at it and come in your household and be like, damn, this is what I want. Well, if this is what you want, then you need to sit back and analyze and see what it is that they're doing to make it work that way. That's what folks lack on. They just see what they want, but they don't want to sit back and realize what needs to be done in order to get what they want. You could want everything in the world. That don't mean you're going to get everything in the world. You know what I'm saying?
You got to take.
Yeah, and a lot of times too, if you're married and you think the grass is greener, a lot of times you're hanging out with single chicks. Quit hanging out with single girls.
Yep.
Hang around with married people that are trying to accomplish something, that's trying to have some, that's trying to build something. And if you do that, then it take your focus off of all that stuff moving around you. You know, you focus in
there's some single people that's accomplishing things and actually trying to work on things. So you got to reword that for our listeners.
No, because when you're in a marriage, the things that a single person is work, I'm not going to reword it. Because when you're married, the things that you work on as you single. You're not working together to build nothing. When you're married, you working together with somebody, how they feeling, how they moving. When you single, you ain't got to worry about how the next nigga feel.
Right.
When you married, I got to worry about how he gonna feel, how he gonna adjust, how he's gonna move. No, it's a different type of move. And when you're married and you a single girl, when you married and you hanging around a single girl, she's moved different than you move.
Exactly. She gotta move different, but you gotta move different. There's no I in the team. So when you single, you're the letter I. You can move singly. You can do what you want to do. You don't have to be concerned, or you don't have to be worried about what your spouse or what your husband is gonna look like, or anything of that sort. And just like you said, when you're a married woman, it's not about you no more. It's a teamwork. You're not moving for you. You're moving for the both of you. But that's when you understand what marriage is about. A lot of people nowadays too just get married because, oh, I love you, we look good, people like us, let's just go and do it. It's not, they don't understand the efforts and the work that you have to put behind marriage. You're gonna go through bullshit, you know. You might cheat, your husband might cheat. But it's the fact that, you know, you guys understand each other, you guys love each other, you take that vow seriously, and when you marry, is you saying, if you fuck up, I'm still standing here. Work through things. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And that's what it is. It's loyalty. But a lot of folks don't understand that. But I agree with you. When you marry, me personally, I'm not married. I am in a relationship. But I really don't hang out with single females like that because I am in a relationship. I treat my relationship as if I am married. And if you treat things the way you want it, I believe it blossoms into it. So, and that's how I move. You know, I mean, that's just me. But I highly suggest a lot of females to do that because they be out there looking like a fool.
We're going to come back to the marriage concept in just a bit. What about our young listeners that they're actually, you know, especially those who are trying to find their way in life right now, and they may be either with friends, or they don't have any friends, they may feel isolated, or just trying to like find themselves in this world.
And you said the single who? Single women?
No, our younger listeners. Like they're not married. They're, you know, either like just
be true to yourself. Just be true to yourself. As long as you're true to yourself, be honest with who you are.
And don't change for nothing.
Yeah, I said because whoever gonna be your friend. Whoever's not your friend is not your friend. So the quicker you learn that, the easier your life will be.
Listen,
and you treat people the way you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
So if you don't want somebody doing something to you, then don't do that to somebody. And it's really that simple. Life is not that hard. People make life harder than what it got to be. It is not that hard. I don't have very many friends, but the friends I do have can tell you that I'm there every time that it's time to be there. And if you a friend that's not a friend, because you have to check your own friend. If you got a friend, if you being a friend to somebody and they don't know that they are being a great friend to you, tell them. How they gonna know? You sitting over there mad, but they don't even know that they done messed up. So you have to be open. You have to be honest with yourself. That's the only way you're gonna grow.
Number one,
absolutely. And if you can't be honest with your friend and tell your friend they messed up, then that's not your friend.
And you're not being a true friend.
That's not a friend. And absolutely, you being phony just as well because you feel like you can't tell them nothing. If I feel like I can't tell you nothing, then why am I hanging out with you?
There are some folks, so I beg to differ because there are some personalities that sometimes they may not say nothing. They may have even spoken up, you know, and try to communicate. But in the simple fact that it didn't work in the past when they try to communicate about whatever issues that they feel that they should have been addressed, whether they went to the park and they shouldn't have went to the park, they should have went to school, you know, instead of hanging out or drinking or doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. And, you know, they shut them down. So because they care in a sense where they actually have a good heart, a lot of times their heart will go out on a limb just to make sure that their friend is happy, you know?
Well, I think you're going out too far. I think you put yourself out a little too much for your friend. If your friend ain't being a friend and listen to you and respond back to you, and sometimes
my thing is too, a lot of that is just a learning curve. A lot of that is just a learning curve. And you're going to have to go through some of those in order to know what a real friend look like.
And you have
Because
to
the
start by
friends I
learning
have,
yourself too.
yeah, and the friends I had in high school might not be the same friends you have in your late 20s. The friend that you have in your late 20s might not be the friend you have in your 30s. So you have to adjust your lifestyle and your friendships according to where you are, because everybody that you grow up with, and yeah, don't mean they're gonna travel with you through life, because each person grow at a different speed.
Yeah.
If I'm
That was an
maturing
eye-opener
faster,
for me.
huh?
That was an eye-opener for me because you know, I'm pretty well off in my years. I'm in my early 40s. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. But I could tell you at one point I looked at the people I grew up with, and I could say almost everybody I graduated with, either they're strung out on drugs, they are locked up, they're still trying to make it work, and very few have actually succeeded. You know, I know my predecessors and people who grew up, who graduated before, after me. You know, we had a similar sample, and there's people that have, you know, succeeded in life, and you know, so I could say throughout those years, the people that I've held close to as friends, they dropped off of my timeline, you know, and some of them dropped off with no reason why. And that was kind of like the hardest, because we grew up like this. We were like, you know, two peas in a pod, and you just disappear off the face of the earth for what reason? And something in that case, like if there's somebody I confided in, I grew up and I trusted and I had loyalty with each other, and you just stop communication altogether, it made me feel a certain type of way. So I could imagine the younger generation that might have been going through this, especially right now with the friends that they're keeping, letting go of, losing in the long, and you know, it also affects their self-esteem. Like, what am I doing wrong? You know, and some of them just don't give a damn, depending on the personality. You have some strong, you have passive aggressive, you have aggressive, you know, depending on your personality, it can affect them in certain type of ways. So basically what I'm trying to say is, being with that pool of type of personalities, what would you say, you know, is it again a learning curve that you have to
It
learn
is.
yourself?
Yes, it is. It's a learning curve to know I'm not passive aggressive. I'm probably more aggressive than I am passive aggressive. Uh,
Yeah.
so I grew, all the friends I have in high school, I still have. So I grew up in a small country town. So I'm a little country girl. So when you grow up in a small town, your friends start from pre-K all the way up. Same friends. You don't change friends. I go home when it's time to do class reunion stuff. I go home when we doing just a barbecue for another friend, if somebody got married. So I'm all into my classmates. So I didn't grow up like that. But for those that have lost their friends along the way, they got to learn themselves. And the reason a lot of times you lose them is because y'all moving in two different paths. That is why you lost them. They going right and you going left. Right. So you can't look at it as a loss. You just got to look at it as they moving in a different way that you moving, and be thankful, because they sprung out on drugs and life is going down the tube,
and you ain't going down there with them.
Right. So sometimes it's just God's way of just separating you from,
That's true.
You know, if they're a pack of wolves, you don't want to go over there. You know, because
this is what I say. And this is how I move. A lot of people say it's kind of selfish, but to me, honestly, I don't look at it selfish. I'm not a selfish person. I don't have no selfishness. She'll tell you. I mean, she's known me for a couple of years now. And if it's my last, I give it. It don't matter. But I do live my life where I was born by myself. I'm going to do shit by myself because I know I'm going to die by myself. So I don't depend on no friends. I don't look for friends. I don't, friendship to me is a blessing. Don't get me wrong. If I consider you as a friend, it's because it comes a long way. It's just not no random that comes across and I say, that's my friend. So if I use that word friend, a lot of people use friend very easily, very loosely as well. And a lot of people don't understand acquaintance and being cool with somebody and a friend.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a lot of friends. I can hold them in one hand lightly and probably still throw like 20 more in there if I need to. So I have a whole lot of acquaintances. I see you. Hey, what's up? How you doing? You got a birthday party? Yeah, okay. I celebrate your birthday because I'm not a hater. I love seeing people succeed. If you're doing something good and I see something, or if I see, because I'm a visualizer, like I see things. And if I see something that's going to benefit you, I don't hold it because I don't want to see you succeed. I'm going to come to you. Today, everybody's the first day I meet Keena. If I see something that's going to push you forward, and I see that it's something that's going to benefit you and put you in a better position, I'm going to voice it. Hey, Keena, look, I see this. Whether you want to take it and go, hey, that's you. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to give it to you. But that's what a friend does. That's what a real friend does. True. If a friend see you in danger, I'm going to jump in there with you. And I'm going to grab you and put myself on the line just to let you know and wake you up. But I'm only going to do that one time. That's why I say I move, because I was born by myself. I do things by myself. I'm going to die by myself. I'll warn you, but I ain't going to continuously go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, and like you said, it's a learning lesson. I'll warn you and tell you what I see. But if you choose to move the way you want to move, shawty, that's on you. I got to lean back because I got to do for me as well. And so along the way, like you said, is everybody moving differently? You know, I praise God when God moves things and people out of my life, because I know it just wasn't meant for me. I don't never look at it negative. I don't wish nobody nothing bad or wrong. I see you in the streets. Hey, what's up, baby? How things going? Oh, you know, the same. Oh, in my head, I'm saying, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm not going to do that. I'll be like, oh, okay, that's what's up. But I'm not going to throw it in their face and be like, well, look, I got my business going. I got this going. I'm not going to do that. Oh, okay, I feel you. Yeah, things are all right with me, just because I'm not trying to throw it in their face. And that's another way you know when you got a friend or not. If they throwing too much, well, I got this going on. I got that going on. Oh, you trying to compete with me. I don't need a compete. I need someone that's just going to work with me. We're going to pull together. I'll get on that ladder and turn around and put my hand out. Where you at? Come here. Let me lift you up with me. That's how I'm.
I like competition.
I like competition, but I like a friendly competition. I like a friendly competition. Oh, okay, I see you, boo.
And see, I'm opposite. And see, I'm opposite. I don't like.
We worked together, and we're also really good friends. But she does not like it. But
I don't like it. I do not like.
It motivates me to do more.
Yes.
For me, it don't. I do not like it. I do not like you. I'm gonna support you as my friend, but I don't want you competing with me. I don't want you to. If I'm over here buying a new car and you just going and you're gonna go buy a new car because you seen I went and got a new car. No,
that's a little different.
That's different. That's different.
And
when it came down to it, what you thought I was competing with when we were working on our health, I think we had a conversation about that. But I'm gonna tell you this, and it all comes down to the background. I grew up, in a little small town in Kingston, Jamaica. No, I grew up in Jamaica. Yes. So how I grew up, I didn't have, all these nice doohickeys. We didn't back in the days. We had none of that. And even if I'm a third world country native, and everything we had was all off of competition. Like my uncles, they fueled me to learn more, do more through competition. They taught me how to, especially track and field. They taught me how to play game. Like I was what they call it, the only child for 14 years. So it was like a very whole environment. It was very competitive. But it was a healthy competition that actually pushed me to do more. Oh, you did that. Look what I did. Oh, I bet you could do more. I bet you could run another 5 more laps. Oh, I'm gonna do 4 more on top of that. So it's actually it's friendly competition. And I gravitate to it. I love it. How many times I tell you, Keena, what are you doing? Girl, we need to get this going on right now. Why you ain't doing this? I feel like you're very well. Before we even get going, before we even continue, let's tell us a little bit about our backgrounds. what are we, because we're not just here to talk. We actually have a couple of, assets underneath our backgrounds, right? So I know you're cater. We work together with some festivals. We cater to a lot of the artists for Jazz Festival. But let's go around and just talk about what we actually have as a background. I'm just checking and make sure that everything's good with the time in here. Yeah, go ahead and let's talk about our backgrounds and what we have on the table. We're not just sitting here just talking.
Well, I have my cosmetology license. I also have my pharmacy tech license. I also do catering. I cater events. I also cook. I'm a chef. I also have kept children. Just a little bit of everything in my background. I done worked and did like physical work. So you name it, I done it.
She's from the hard knock life.
I'm from the hard night streets life of Arkansas. I'm from Arkansas.
From the streets of Arkansas, where they have homeowners associations
with cows and chickens and stuff.
Cherry picking
with cows and chickens.
Yeah,
I know that's right, country girl. Dang it, with them goats and all.
Yes, girl. I grew up with a garden. I grew up with a single mom. My grandmother was a big part of my life. She cooked. That's where I got my passion for cooking. I grew up with siblings. I got 4 siblings. I take care of my disabled brother. So I have a lot going on in my world, but I always try to make time. And she always trying to tell me I should have a restaurant. I should open up a restaurant. I should
listen, me and you, we
cater an event.
I got an idea.
And
she had so many. We're not gonna say the names, but we've worked with certain celebrities where they just love her cooking. I mean, we've done album release parties, we've done concerts, we've done a lot of jazz festivals, we've done fundraisers, and they just love her cooking. Kids, grown-ups, grandparents, families, she has just that touch. And let me tell you, no, I can't tell you that. We might get investigated.
I ain't trying to get investigated, girl. Hold on.
She made food taste good, girl. She made it taste good.
What is investigation in my bank account? I ain't trying to get investigated now. Hold on a second.
No, but she has some home cooking that.
All right, well, you know what? You coming downtown, like we said, she in Texas, we in Georgia. She coming down. I'm going to have to see you in the kitchen, taste a little shum.
Girl, I can give you a little something, girl.
You like her earrings, Tina?
I do.
Thank you.
You know they pink.
Yes, they're pink.
That's my favorite color, pink.
I got you. But so basically, my background here is I'm a single mama too. Yes, I've been married. I'm originally from New York. I had a little rough upcoming, with stepdad and stuff like that. I won't even go into details because I don't want to make up, mess up my lashes and my makeup and stuff like that.
Girl, what you do?
Now, a real G don't cry.
You got your shield.
Yeah, you already know how we do. So, but yeah, a little rough upcoming, but, for those that are out there, so let's just say it like this. You got a stepdad that you're not getting along with and you're going through stuff. It's not the end of the world. You survive. Just deal with, just get to the end of it, to the point where you can get out. I got out when I was 16, never looked back. 39 years old and never went back. So you can do it, And the best thing about it is that you never hold that. It will don't kill you, make you stronger. And I believe that. I've lived it. I'm a testimony to it. I actually have 2 businesses right now. I do work a 9 to 5. I got the hardest job in the world. I'm a bill collector, so I call you. So
don't answer the phone, y'all.
No,
don't call me.
Well,
because you ain't getting no money for the corona.
I'm tell you like this, you don't answer the phone and you see me hit that garnishment, that's when you're going to want to talk to me, and that's when I ain't going to answer your call. So let's put it like that.
Okay, but you know what happened? Do you know what happened after that? Then you're going to have to call me back because you're going to want a settlement.
Nah, I ain't going to call you. You're going to have your attorney call me for that settlement. Trust me. I've been doing it for 10 plus years. I know how it is. But I also actually faced my fear, stepped out in the world, became a business owner. So I sell jewelry. This is one of my products I do sell. It's nickel and lead free, $5. If you're interested, for those that are watching, it's majesticguysjewelry.com. I also have magnetic lashes. So don't worry about the glue. I got sensitive skin. I used to wear lashes and put glue on. I caught infection because of the glue, because of my sensitivity. So the product that I sell is vegan based. Everything. The glue is vegan based. Eyelashes vegan based. Very sensitive. I'm not a vegan. I eat pork. I eat chicken.
But you had some vegan.
I had vegan today, and the shit was the bomb. I will eat it again, but I'm not gonna get rid of my meat. Both ways. But no, the lashes, they're magnetic. So, and the website on the lashes actually is lashingout.com. So that's on that. And, I just do what I got to do as a single parent for my kids. I've been in the streets. That's my history. The streets is my history. That's my resume. The 2 for $5, if you out there, y'all know what 2 for $5 means. That's where I came from. But I didn't want to make that my life. And I turned it around, and I'm here doing what I'm doing now.
Which
right,
portfolio.
2 business. And actually, I'm interested in my restaurant. I got an idea for the restaurant. I've been thinking about it for many years. I'm Puerto Rican. That's my background. Boricua, all day. De Maratín, de Aguadilla, sabe.
Oh, nice.
But I also don't lean away from where my heritage come from. We have African blood, we have black blood, we have that Caribbean blood in us as well. I want my restaurant to mix in with both. I can do both, but I cook more on the Spanish side, so maybe we could do something. I got an idea. I'll spit it to you. I'll let you know what I'm thinking and what I'm striving for. I believe you'll like it. It's gonna be. I let her know. I don't really share my stuff with too many people, but I do share a lot with her because I know that she's not a hater. I know that it's nothing but blessings and wishful and
come on, we're not gonna
prayers
cry.
and stuff. Girl, we ain't cry. We gangsters here. We don't cry. Now I'm like, I do cry time to time. I'm a Cancer, so I'm sensitive and emotional, but I tend to try.
Oh Lord.
Don't do that. Oh Lord, stuff with your Capricorn side. Don't do that.
Scorpio.
Oh, she's Scorpio. Okay.
Girl, I'll sting you if you put me in the corner.
What she did?
She said, I'll see if you put me in the corner.
Oh, I can do that too. Oh, no, don't get me wrong.
When they put you in the corner, you like, what the heck did I do? What am I here for? Damn, I gotta win that too.
But that's my little background right there. So I'm the ghetto one from the group.
No, you ain't no ghetto one.
I'm the country bunny.
And y'all
you the country, I'm the ghetto. Let's do this, boo. You hop and I shoot.
Thank you for sharing that, ladies. I'm just gonna give a brief. So I'm Sid. I'm short by Tiny. Everybody knows Tiny. Basically, damn, I don't know where to start. Have a couple of things going on. I'm an owner of 2 different type of businesses that's on the paper right now, and have a couple of things going on. But basically, I own my own employment agency. We recruit folks to work from home, especially during this time of COVID, working from home for call centers, Home Depot, Dick's Sporting Goods, Intuit, like pretty much Pandora. Also, I also have I just got the okay with the state of Georgia to get have my own line of waist trainer and actually sportswear for women. Got my little licenses and my permits and all that going. So definitely the website's gonna come out soon. Really, this is my baby because they call me Tiny, but I'm 6 foot, and somebody was joking and actually said, I'm gonna call you Tiny. I liked it and I ran with it. Why not? But basically I've struggled for so many years as a tall woman, finding the right size or finding the right fit. Keena's the one say, just because it looks good, don't mean it looks good on you. So basically, it's more so of a personal journey something I want to share with other women across the world, you know,
Yes.
to be able to find some dope ass outfits and basically sportswear. I'm a sportswear fanatic. You know, I wear sportswear almost every day, all day, unless it's some type of special event or evening out on the town with my boo, depending on what it is. But I'm always a sportswear, and I also wear my waist trainer because, you know, I got to stay fit, got to keep fit. And I also have plans along in my journey. But basically, that's just two of the many projects that I have working on right now. And basically, I feel like I wanted to create this podcast so that us as women from all walks of life come together, because I honestly feel that's something that we need as women. We knock each other down, and not just as women, but just as a society altogether. And I hope they can take it from us, because, you know, we can birth, we can do so many things. We're nurturers. We have so much of a power in this universe, you know. But basically, we bring each other down. We should be able to bring each other up. Let's not hate on each other, you know. I want us to come together as women to show that it is possible. I want to fight the stigma. My whole purpose in every part of my projects or my businesses is to show that let's kill that stigma and let's uplift each other, because everybody can have a piece of the pie. Everybody. And also, I'm a vegan, so I put together my Honey Sage Bistro. So where we offer meals for other vegans, we cater and also deliver as well. And, you know, just different types of delicacies. It's all about the flavor. Texture is, yes, you must, but it's really all about the flavor. I don't believe in killing animals. I don't believe in killing and eating animals. It's all a, you know, that's another day, another topic. And I just wanted to shoot that out there.
And I feel like, I think we should kill animals and eat them.
I feel you. I feel
okay.
you.
Okay.
And I love it.
I just lost 100 girl out there in the country, girl. I'm gonna tell you what the healthiest cow you got out there. And I take them home. And I need some fresh deer meat.
Yes.
Where he at? Look, and I'm in Georgia. They all over, but they don't want to come out when I'm driving, so I can hit them and take them.
I know. Girl.
Doing 80, 90 miles going down on a 35, hoping the deer come out. But like, whoop, you messed up. Listen, I gotta go to court on the 30th because they caught me doing, what was it? They caught me doing 70. I don't even care about that, girl. Look, I'm talking about my speeding ticket. They caught me doing like 70 on a 35. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
For the deer to come out.
You was going so slow.
And that is slow for me. You see? That's slow. I was waiting for that deer. I thought Baby's mama was going to come out. We were going to have dinner.
Oh, Lord.
I'm there with you. But
yeah.
On the vegan side, I did have vegan today. I don't know what tofu or what strip or what bootleg stuff that was in there.
It's keto. It's a soy gluten.
All right. Well, that soy gluten, the way she
it's like a substitute for beef.
Okay. But that substitute for beef. The texture, like she said, it ain't even matter about the texture.
Don't make that face.
The texture, honestly, I did that face too. I did the face too. I ain't gonna lie to you. I keep it real. I keep it 100. But when I put that in my mouth and I chewed it and I ate it, actually, to be honest with you, it was good. It really. I'm even willing to. I told her I'm gonna give her money so she can go, maybe a whole day, and I'll keep it so I can eat it. It actually was good. I ain't gonna lie.
Here go me. You did more than what I would do. I'm not putting that in my mouth. If she ain't got a piece of fried chicken, I don't even want to talk about it. I grew up where we hung that pig upside down. We cut him down. We slaughtered him. I grew up where we slaughtered that cow. We took him to the butcher and we ate him. So I ain't with that vegan and that tofu and that soy. I don't want no, I want some meat. I am a true steak and potato girl. I've been a plus size girl my whole life. So if you ain't got no steak and potatoes,
I had fried chicken with it though.
With some hot sauce.
I had my meat with it. I ain't gonna lie, I have a fried chicken with it.
And she couldn't finish the fried chicken.
I couldn't even finish my chicken because the vegan took up the spot. I was like, man,
girl, no, I'd have finished that fried chicken and left that vegan over there on the side. Girl, don't play.
losing weight, but looking at how I'm feeling myself. So I'm like, I think a little vegan going on. Let me show. You know?
I can lose weight without being vegan. I can lose weight without being vegan.
That's true. That's true.
Well, you know what? When you come down, I'll make my pork shoulder for you. In Spanish, it's called pernil.
One thing I do notice though,
long as it's a piece of pork, we good, girl.
Girl, it's pork shoulder. The whole thing is pork, baby.
Good Lord.
With the crispy skin and all.
Listen here.
You can't have none. I'm sorry.
One thing I don't need it. I'm good.
You don't want it when you smell it.
Nah, trust me, I'm good. No, one thing I do notice though, it changes your cycle. It changes the
when you start changing cycle, people start getting pregnant. I don't need them. I'm just being real. Listen, I got my stuff got cut inside 15 years ago, but you ain't don't start regulating that.
Check it out. Right?
I don't know what extra stuff can do that.
Check it out though. One of the things that I've noticed as just staying on a vegan diet is I was on a vegan diet at first. Now I'm just on a vegan lifestyle. Basically, one of the things I've noticed is that it changed the cramps, the severity of the cramps I used to get. It minimized it. I used to be in a child pose because I couldn't deal with the pain I was getting.
Oh, wow.
And the flow was it was erratic, and I would just I got shot. I would just lay there. But once I started it on my 30th day, I noticed my cycle was completely different. I didn't get those cramps anymore. It was much more bearable. And also my mood swings wasn't as, I have less fights now. I shouldn't say fights. I have less arguments. I have less emotional spurts, and I have a clearer way of thinking. And sometimes, I get my little emotional spurts, and
You say your bipolar calmed down a little bit, basically.
Yeah, my bipolar calmed down a lot.
But you know what else can help your bipolar calm down? A glass of wine.
I'm gonna say some vodka.
You can't have wine every day now. You can't have wine every day.
And them cramps, you know what them cramps was? That was them cows kicking your stomach. So I gotta get out.
The hormones that they be feeding them. You're eating animals that was alive. But that's not what this first episode is about, ladies. We gonna go back to marriage and relationships.
Marriage.
Because remember I said we're gonna go back to it.
So we're getting deep now.
I know we had to go back to it because we're getting heavy on it. I just want to make sure we got everyone else outside of who's not in a relationship or who's not married. But want to go back to the marriage portion of it. Something that I watched the other day, it was Medea's Farewell. And I think that I recommend everyone to take a look at it. I mean, first 16 minutes, I couldn't stop laughing. But one thing I did like is that throughout the whole episode, there was a message throughout the whole episode. It's a lot of Tyler Perry's movies have that. This was a play, and it did have a lot of messages throughout it. One of the things that spoke out to me a lot was that, honey, she said, honey, you marry somebody now, but you need to make sure before you start getting to marry, wait a couple of years, because you have to learn how to deal with so many different faces of who you're loving. And every 7 years, I'm not saying word for word what they said, but this is what I got. Every 7 years, a person will change. And it don't even have to be 7 years. It could be depending on how bipolar they are, could be every 10 or 15 minutes. But basically, if you feel that everything is going great and, maybe a little bit to work on or whatever, give it a couple of years before y'all say, I do, or before you get into something serious, because that is something that I feel is so sacred. Yes, divorce is there, and I'm glad it's there, and it happens. But the connection and the commitment of marriage, I feel, is something that is worthy for someone that you are really, going to plan to spend the rest of your life with and saying, I want to work this out with you. I want to be a better person with you, and I want to keep on growing with you, right? But every 7 years, Medea had and towards the end of the play had mentioned, person gonna change, and you're gonna see. You have to learn to deal with them on the different faces that they give you, So basically, this is what I want to say. You've been married for 20 years.
Mhm.
Yes.
So have you seen the changes or growth or the different stages of your significant other and vice versa? Do you feel that you're a different person that you were? Of course, you do feel that, but do you feel as a different person that you were and they were when y'all first started?
Yes.
And what helped?
I met him at 18. My husband was 31, so it's a quite a bit of age gap. By the time I was 25, I went to a stage that I felt like I outgrew him.
Deep.
That I wanted out of the relationship. But I stayed in. I kept working at it. And about a year or two later, I was like right back in love. So in marriage, you'll fall out of love. You can fall right back in. They tell you can't. Yes, you can. So as I was growing up, I think I feel like I did a lot more changing than he did because I was so young when I met him. I got married when I was 21, and I had my first child when I was 25. And all those changes as a woman that your body goes through with having a baby, getting married, and just going through things. We had a spot in our marriage where he cheated on me, and I was at a spot of questioning me. Was I'm enough? What was I putting forth? What is going on? And right about the same time, I lost my mom and my dad and my grandmother, with all in the same year and a half. So I had a lot of things going on. And because at that moment in time, I couldn't take another thing going wrong, I stayed married. And with me growing, with about 28, 29, I still did not want a divorce, but I still wasn't quite over it. So it took me actually getting away from family for me to actually trust back into him. Because sometimes when I grew up in a family where we all there for each other. Because I grew up in the country. I told you, everybody knows everybody. And when you're in the country, everybody knows everybody's business. Everybody friends with everybody.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it's a different environment than moving to a whole other state without your spouse. So as we going and I'm growing, I feel like I grew up, and now I feel like we are truly married. Because when you were so young and you get married, it's just so much growing you have to do. And then he was already mentally ready for a wife. He was 31. He was ready for a wife. He was ready for children. He was ready for all of this stuff, and I wasn't. But as I kept growing, now that I'm 40, I'll be 42 in November. Now we are at the most happiest stage of our life. So marriage go through so many phases. It go through so many trials and tribulations, but if you stick it out, it can be good, so you just don't always throw in the towel. Now that he's older and he's going through so much stuff, with his health, is because he's in his 50s now. His health is not as good as it was. He's got diabetes, blood pressure, and he got other things going on. So now his mood, his stuff done changed. So now I got to adjust to him. He had to adjust to me at first in the marriage. Now I'm having to adjust to him. So you go through so many stages. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And one thing I have kept me from staying married to keep me staying married is if I got him and I don't like A about him, I get with another man, guess what? It's going to be something I don't like about
something
that.
Start all over again.
So I know this beast. I'm going to keep this beast. And I'm going to work with this beast. But if I get over here to this beast and that beast ain't worth a quarter, then I'm just, now I'm starting all over and having to refigure out another man. And this man I love to death. We got 2 babies, 18 and 17, and they're almost out the house, and I'm ready.
I know.
And so, so we're gonna be facing another chapter. Another chapter. Once the kids leave, it is another chapter. So we're gonna see what that chapter brings.
And you'll get through it.
Thank you so much for sharing, Kina.
But I do have one question, and
yes.
because there's a lot of young ladies out there that are probably married and have, as well as myself, but I checked out when it happened to me. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just a no tolerance type female. I was married young. First child was 21, gave birth 22, got pregnant again at 23, gave birth at 24, and shut it down and said it no more. But my marriage didn't even last. I don't even think we didn't even see our first year anniversary. And we were together for almost 10 years. Yeah, almost 10 years under our belt. And we got married. Wow. And we didn't even make 1 year because he cheated. So I asked this question because I've been there and I seen how maybe I wasn't strong enough, but I don't like to say I wasn't strong enough. I just like to say that you fucked up and that's it, I'm out. But you hung in there. So what helped you get over that in a marriage? Because I can say a lot of women probably are like me and less like you. I think the percentage is more higher of women being more on my side, like, oh, you cheated, that's it, you fucked up.
And I don't think that. I think a lot of more women suffer in silence because they don't want to say that their mate done cheated on them. They don't want to say that. But what helped me actually at that particular time in my life, I was like in the church, really, I was raising my kids up in the church. We was going to church every Sunday. We was going to Bible studies.
You had guidance. You had that support.
And so I was having a hard time dealing with it. I'm not gonna never tell nobody it was easy because it wasn't. It was
a process. It was a process you had to go through.
But at the particular time, I think if I wouldn't have lost my parents, I probably would have left. But because I had lost my mom, lost my dad, lost my grandmother, at that particular time for me, it was more of a survival mode of I couldn't lose nothing else. And that was all my support system. So I just stood there. I was married, but I just, how you could be married, you could be at a place, but you're not truly there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was for probably for about 2 years. I was at least 2 years I was there. And it just so happened that one day I was at the altar and I was like, Lord, you're going to have to give me something. I can't keep going like this.
Did the cheating happen before the marriage or it happened during the marriage?
During the marriage.
Okay.
We had been together probably from 18 to probably about 25. So however many years that is, about 7-8 years, we was together before it actually took place. Mm-hmm. And I think another thing that had a lot to do with it is the particular lady kind of seduced him. Kind of one of them ladies that wanted what I had, thought I had something. And then
yeah, that's a smut bucket.
But then they found out that he wasn't finna leave me, and then she gonna tell me what happened. It was one of those, she kind of asked him to come over to help her with some stuff, and then when he got there, she was fully undressed. So it was one of those incidents to where we haven't had that incident to ever happen again. So I think that was another reason why the marriage could work, because once we went through that, it, you know, we was done with that. We ain't ever had that issue again. But what helped me was the pastor's wife. She walked up to me, and at that particular day I was on the altar. I think I was just at my last wit's end. I was either finna leave or go at that particular stage. And she walked up to me. She said, and I told her what was going on. And she pulled me to the side after church and she said, "Is he a good father?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Does he pay bills?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Is he hitting on you?" I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "Is he, being, physical or, verbally abusive?" Like, she was going down the list of things. And when and she said, "Well, it sounds like to me, the good outweigh the bad."
Amen.
I'm not excusing nothing he did, Dakina, but it sounds like to me, the good outweigh the bad. And at that very moment, that lady, whether she realized to this day, is why we're still married. Because It took somebody that was older and wiser at that moment, which I didn't have in my life because my mom was gone and all of that. So I didn't have nobody to tell me which way to move. So because I didn't know which way to move, I just stood. So at that moment, for somebody to come in my life just to tell me, wasn't even telling me to go right or left. They just gave me the information to be able to analyze it at that moment. And when I analyzed it for myself, and I said, well, I'm staying, and we've been floating, moving ever since. And we haven't had any more issues with him cheating or, any of that. So it is forgiveness. And, it doesn't mean you forget,
right?
But it is forgiveness.
And sometimes I think you don't forget so that way you can learn from it and learn how to do differently to make it work.
But you know what I told him? You don't have now another, though.
You ain't got what?
You ain't got now another.
You don't have what?
Not now another.
Let me try to look that up in the dictionary.
That means you can't fuck up no more. That's what that means. That's what that means.
Well, I think, ladies, this is amazing, and I love the energy that's flowing back and forth. And we went a little bit past our time.
That's okay.
And we're gonna have to come down to a close in just a bit. So definitely, any last words before we get going to our listeners?
No more than just keep checking in and listening to us. It's a lot of wisdom. In between 3 to 4 people here, you got some wisdom. If you need it, we are able to share it with you, and we hope that you stay tuned.
Amen to that. Just to piggyback, like she said, you got 3 to 4 women here. We all come from different avenues. We all have different backgrounds. So we pretty much can cover all questions that are out there. The best part is whatever questions you have different opinions on it, and whichever best fits you, that you feel like you can move on, you can get it from here.
Yes.
There's no haters here. We all lift up each other. Just like I stated before, I just met Keena today, and I got a business already in mind where we can, combine together. That don't mean
you never know.
Hey, to our listeners, you never know. I might just come up with an idea with your background to where we can combine together as well. So with that just being said, Outspoken is just that. We outspeak. We say the truth. We don't hold bars. We don't hold our language. You hear how we talk. You want the truth? Come check in. We got you.
Thank you so much. And again, guys, thank you again for listening. And let's keep moving forward. Outspoken.
Outspoken.
Yeah.